Hi everyone who wants to chill and talk about stuff. My name is Alex Freezeman, and I've got meat cooking on the background, which means I have something juicy for you today. Well, actually, it's a really serious topic, and it's about AI. It has been used for a lot of things now, and the technology itself is rapidly progressing. Of course, I've seen a lot of uses when it was just for funsies, but right now us, the humanity, and the law specifically, we are all so unprepared for this technology that there are some legitimate cases of identity theft and destruction of careers. And I want to talk about one of these cases that was pretty loud in Russia for a couple of days, about 2 months ago. I don't think it was covered outside of Russia, so that's why I, as a Russian sort of gamer and just Russian guy, I guess, I think if I can, I would like to bring it to your attention. Though there were some similar cases in the US, and it's nothing new, but still, it could be interesting. So please enjoy some tea with me, and I guess let's get right into it. This is Alena Andronova. She is a voice actress and announcer director. She's voicing different shows, films, animated works, and of course, video games. She has quite the filmography actually. Here we see 104 films listed, and that's just part of her filmography, honestly. She's voiced a lot of stuff, and most of Russian, I guess, gamers and just those who enjoy movies has probably heard her voice here or there. One of the characters she voiced is Kate Marsh from Life is Strange, which is, I think, a fan dub mostly, but a pretty professional one.
Макс, я знаю, что ты хочешь мне помочь. Спасибо, что заступилась за меня, но это уже не важно. Все уже не важно.
She's voiced Nico from League of Legends as well.
Изменить внешность так же легко, как и мнение. Ника запросто может. Почему остальным так сложно?
And she's voiced a lot of different things. Not the best example, but yeah, she was in Marvel's Avengers as an NPC.
Заглянешь в сундук позади тебя? Новая поставка пришла, у меня даже не было времени поглазеть.
Never mind that. What's actually important here is that, well, like I said, she is a gamer, a cosplayer, freelancer, just an everyday, ordinary human, I guess. So what happened? On August 31st, 2023, a video was released on Alena's socials as well as a channel called Союз Дикторов, Announcer Union on English. And the title of the video was how Alena Andronova's voice was stolen and used in 18 plus or not safe for work videos. Here on the thumbnail we can see the title that says Neural networks killed my career. Bit clickbaity, but well, we'll see what's the point here. In this video she is talking about how it all happened and provides important background to the story, which is basically her voice got stolen by a big company. So all the way back in 2019, Alena applied for a job to voice a lot of material for internal use for a company called Tinkoff Bank. You might know this company, you might not know this company, but it's a Russian bank, one of the most popular banks in Russia, and now it is also been a sanctioned bank for a while. So just for mostly for the internal use, I guess. So yeah, she signed a contract, and it was typical. Nothing mentioned any sort of AI or neural networks, and actually AI wasn't really a topic of conversation back then. It wasn't really well known, and it wasn't suspicious. Like Alena said, it was just a typical contract to voice stuff. Right before the recording session, neural networks were actually mentioned for the first time. It seemed kinda sus, but Alena decided not to ruin everyone's day and complied with recording. It is also important to point out that in 2019 was actually a long time ago. And I think just a year prior, in 2018, the internet at first saw mass interest in deepfake technology. And The Voice, I guess, is kind of the same story. It wasn't as easy as it is now to just duplicate someone's voice and to even imagine its possibility. And of course, correct me if I'm misremembering stuff or misrepresenting stuff. Human minds, including Alena's, were not adjusted to the fact that the voice can be copied and reproduced so convincingly, or that it's going to happen in the future. Now, anime time skip. 2022. A friend of hers, or even a few friends of hers, has asked her if she's ever voiced a porn ad, which she obviously didn't. Yet, the friends definitely recognized her voice, and the voice was hers. Now, let's see a couple of examples. So, this is her talking for real. This is a fragment of her voicing someone from the game Black Desert.
Помню, как отец учил меня кататься на ослике. Значит так, подвешиваешь мертвую тушу медведя вниз головой, берешь разделочный нож, приподнимаешь ему голову, делаешь надрез в области шеи и ножом вдоль всего тела.
Well, you get the gist. Now listen to this AI voice.
Заведи своего сексуального раба прямо в браузере. В этой игре отсутствует ограничение. Это позволит тебе вытворять, что хочешь и с кем хочешь.
It's pretty scary and convincing, right? So it turns out that at the time of August of 2023, when Alena recorded the video covering this, her voice was actually out there for anyone to use and to synthesize. This is how it looked on the website of Tinkoff. Everyone could use it however they wanted and do anything however they wanted. And also they could pay for the voice as well and just get it and use it, I think, like indefinitely. I mean, without restrictions, with no symbol restrictions or anything of the sorts.
Привет. Это чат для анонимных знакомств, секстинга и вирта.
Беспроводная Wi-Fi камера для видеонаблюдения с простой установкой и русскоязычным приложением.
This is literally like not her voice in this stuff. This is AI. This is really convincing. And I'm talking not just some shady people doing that. Even productions, like serious gigs that would require her voice and who would otherwise pay her, paid instead for this synthesis, and practically she lost some potential income because of this situation, which is fucked up, to be honest. Also, I know that similar thing happened to Pavel Dorofeev, another one of the voice actors. As you can see here, he also has a pretty big list of filmography. This is what he said about this, what he was promised by representatives of the bank. And I asked a direct question to the representative of Tinkoff Bank. Will it be so that I will arrive to airport and will hear my voice announcing flights or something like that, that are not connected to the bank or voice assistant, which we were recording these lines for this synthesis, which I was answered to as of course not. What are you talking about? Tinkoff is a very respected organization that would not do things like that, which looks over their reputation and stuff. Yeah. What we were afraid of, this is what we got. This is what happened. Never, not a single sane person, if he will get an answer to a question like that.
Ответ, что да, может такое
Like,
получиться.
yes, this
Да,
can
может такое
happen.
получиться, что ты приедешь в аэропорт,
It might happen that you will arrive to an
возможно,
airport
услышишь,
and will
ты можешь
hear
свой
your
голос услышать в
voice.
каких-то
Maybe you will hear your voice in
роликах,
videos
которые
that
порочат твою
discriminate your
репутацию,
reputation or
репутацию каких-то
reputation
других людей,
of other
других
people, other
организаций, твоей
organizations,
страны.
your country.
Никогда человек, который будет
Never,
знать,
never a person who would know this,
что это
that this
возможно, он
is
никогда не
possible,
подпишет
he will never sign
договор.
such a contract. Basically, pretty obvious. Sorry for the rough translations, by the way. And this is not them either. If you look up, and I'm talking right now about Russian internet, of course, but I'm pretty sure it's the same for the rest of the world. If you look for any text-to-speech voice assistants or like voice conversions or anything like that, you will find some websites that are that have all the kinds of voices. Some are more robotic voices, some are less, some are more human, and of course, like, you will be able to synthesize something on these websites, like, I don't know, anything you want. Basically, there are a lot of different voices that you can pick, and some of them are paid ones, so you gotta pay money to use some person's voice that is probably not even given their consent for this. What is also an interesting situation is that there are, if you know what is Telegram, there are some Telegram bots that are also using synthesized voice. There are announcer voices. There are also video game voices that are taken and synthesized directly from the video games. There are English options and Russian options, like a lot of Genshin Impact, a lot of Team Fortress as well. So I don't know. I've chosen Spy from Team Fortress 2, and I can say I don't know. I can say subscribe to Alex Freezeman, right? And this is what we hear.
Subscribe to Alex Freezeman!
Here is also an example that was brought up in the video, is a trailer for a DLC for Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty that's actually already out. There is a trailer for this, and the trailer for the voices of official Russian dub, but this DLC wasn't officially dubbed by anyone. So how was it done? With AI, of course. Let's take a look.
Это одна большая игра в угадайку.
Куда бы Майерс ни пошла, ее путь устлан трупами.
Мне нужно лишь то, что пообещала Сойка. Лекарство.
Обстоятельства изменились. Ты со мной?
Иллюзия свободы притягивает отчаявшихся. Выбери свою правду, Ви.
Давай. Пистолет уже у тебя в руке. Приставь его к чьей-нибудь башке и выстрели.
Если я не найду выход в ближайшее время, то умру.
Well, like I said, you don't really need to know the language, but to sense that there is something a bit off, right? Like, no real person actually voiced this video. So here's a question for you. Is this legal? Companies and studios that give out contracts which have the clause about editing the voice think that yes, they can create anything they want out of it. But in reality, and it was even said by a lawyer in the video by Alena, is that the voice of the person can be also considered his personal biometrics, or the work they've done can fall under the law of inviolability of performance. I don't know, I'm not like Legal Eagle or someone, and I just roughly translated the title of the law in Russian, so Russian law, which is not usually the same for everyone else, but I think you get the gist, right? But the actual truth is that there are no such law to regulate this. It doesn't exist. Not in Russia, not anywhere, as far as I'm aware. This is what the Actors Guild was fighting during their strike. one of the things to be protected from AI, and it's a legitimate ask if you ask my opinion. Sorry for repeating the same word twice. So the only thing is we don't have that here. Many more hardworking actors and actresses don't have that, unfortunately. And I'm really happy for SAG-AFTRA, and they're doing the right thing. And they actually won a few years for themselves, which is actually really great. But what about others? What about common folk, whose voice can be faked and modulated based on a couple of minutes of them talking? And then what if scammers start calling your loved ones using your voice? And there are a lot of people talking online, and there are whole libraries of voices singing or speaking things that have never thought they might. This seems to be going way too far, and it started to cost people their reputation and their livelihood. And there needs to be more awareness about this and some kind of regulation in every country. So, what is Alona doing and what is Announcer Union doing? Well, they've created a petition with suggestions of specific points on what kind of changes to law regarding voice and AI should be done in Russia. Well, it's kind of too long to read, but if you want just basic understanding, this is the petition. It's right now only available on change.org, which is not the best website to do a petition because it doesn't really change much. But if you're not a Russian speaker, you can just go there and auto-translate and hopefully understand at least the basics. What Alona is also doing is filing a lawsuit against Tinkoff, demanding regulating the use of her voice, compensation, among other things. But it's gonna take a while. It's not even accepted yet, to be honest. And actually, to demonstrate this point even further, like in some evil irony, some guy on YouTube made his own synthesis of Alona's voice, just based on this video that Alona recorded about this situation.
Меня зовут Алена Андронова, и этот голос является синтезом речи. В качестве образца голоса был взят двухминутный отрывок из моего видео на YouTube под названием «Из голоса банка». Фильмы 18+. Слушаем. То ли колодец был очень глубок, то ли падала она очень медленно.
Anyway, it sounds so freaking real. Like there were even some like pauses in her sentences, like as if like she was thinking what to say next. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into this, but it's crazy. So people in this very video actually are asking about how to do this, which is crazy. They want to do this? Why? I mean, for funsies? For malicious purposes? I don't know. But the people in general just split in two groups, as usual. Some people think that neural networks need to be regulated. Some think that there is no need, and are saying something along the lines of, well, if the actors are good, they will never be out of the job. Which is kind of bonkers, because you don't need to be an actor to have your voice copied. AI voices are already really good, and who knows how much better they're gonna be in a couple of years. What happened next? A few days later, another video was released, talking about intermediate results. One of which being removal of Alona and her colleague Pavel's voices from open access on Tinkoff website. If you go to their website now, I don't think you will find the voice. Let me check it out. Yep, this is Tinkoff Voice Kit, the same website, and there is no ability to just come there and use someone's voice. At least that happened. Another one is coverage of this topic on the news. And also, Tinkoff themselves actually responded. And let me read out for you their response about this situation. The information provided is not true. An agreement was an agreement was concluded between Alona Andronova and Tinkoff Bank GSC, according to which Alona performed the work of voicing the texts and transferred exclusive rights to them to the bank in full, including the rights to process, make any changes, abbreviations, additions. Moreover, the agreement with Alona directly provided for her consent to the use for the use and processing of recordings by third parties. Thus, the bank has the right to use Alona's voice recordings in any way, including for training neural networks. Synthesized materials based on the voices of presenters are used in Tinkoff VoiceKit technology, on the basis of which service users can create voice robots and recognize speech. Companies use synthesized voices to automate the work of call centers, create voice assistants, and other business processes. However, in 2022, some users of the service tried to use it in bad faith in violation of the rules. Having identified such cases, Tinkoff immediately blocked such users. Due to the fact that the situation caused a negative reaction from the announcer, we offered Alona Andronova monetary compensation because we were looking forward to further cooperation. However, Alona did not agree with the proposed amount of compensation. Also, there was a question asked about whether the announcers were warned that anyone, anywhere, like for anything, could use their voice, would be able to use their voices, which they said they weren't warned about that, right? But what Tinkoff Bank said, once again, in case of difficulty in analyzing what was written earlier, Alona was warned about speech synthesis. Typical bank answer, I didn't expect anything less, to be honest. But what did they lie about? Well, first of all, editing the recordings, making changes to them, doesn't mean making an AI voice out of it. It means work with this particular recording. Well, I mean, logically so, but like I said, the law is not regulated in that regard, so they could technically justify the creation of speech synthesis with the line in the contract that says edit and like make adjustments, abbreviations, additions, etc., etc. So legally, they actually, I think they could prove that in court, which is a bummer. Because logically, that's not what the first thing that comes to mind when you hear edit the recording, right? And of course, they didn't tell her that it would be possible because, like Pavel said, no sane person would agree to such a thing if they knew full well what the consequences might be to this. More than that, voice is stated in the law of Russia to be a part of so-called biometrics, as in data that identifies the citizen. Second point, misuses of Tinkoff VoiceKit did happen in 2022. That's when Alona found out about it. Tinkoff stated they blocked users immediately, which is a lie. In the said video, Alona demonstrates screenshots to prove it. All blocks are dated to 2023, after Alona's complaint. Not in 2022, mind you.
Они были только в 2023, только после того, как я уже
This is exactly what she's saying.
указала им на это и попросила их хоть как-то это все урегулировать.
Basically, she's saying that they only banned the users in 2023 after her request to do something about it. And the third point, yes, they did offer monetary compensation, and it was kind of small, but as Alona said, it's not even really the point. The point is, Alona wanted Tinkoff to work with her, to protect her voice from fraudulent uses, which they kind of refused to do. Moreover, with said compensation, Alona had to sign a paper that basically said that she has no beef with them and she allows any kind of use of her voice, and she's fine with everything they did and will do with that. All the data, basically, yeah. So, yeah, crazy story. Sorry for the abrupt, I don't know, everything. Not really used to this style of videos yet. Trying to work my way through this. So 2 months later, Alona shared what was done in that time. The story was covered by major media outlets, including several city and federal television channels. This helped the initiative to get out there. Their initiative is being considered in the Federation Council of Russian Federation, and there is hope that this will result in a finished bill on issues of voice protection and regulation of the development of neural networks. The petition to the Russian Community Initiatives, a place where it actually can make a difference, unlike unfortunately change.org, was returned for revision after almost 2 months. It will be fixed and sent back. Then, on that website, you will be actually able to count votes of actual citizens of Russia. And there are problems with the lawsuit, like I mentioned earlier. These processes usually take years, and we're not seeing the results of that anytime soon, especially against such a giant as Tinkoff. The only thing that bugs me about this whole story, and I'm all for the protection of rights and voices and everything, but Alona herself kinda used some of the AI art on her page, and I don't know. This is kinda... it smells kind of like double standards. What this says is, well, that's a screenshot from Alona's page. Well, at least for announcement pictures are fun with AI, which is kind of well, if you're suffered from the AI, don't... well, I don't know. That's kind of weird to me, but oh well. So here is the TLDW, too long didn't watch. Alona Andronova, a Russian voice actress, found her voice misused without consent via AI by Tinkoff Bank and others. Her voice is being used openly for inappropriate content like porn, scams, and gambling. In response, Alona is taking legal action and filing a lawsuit against Tinkoff, while her and the Announcer Union of Russia are petitioning authorities to address the broader problem of voice misuse through AI. And it is not just her voice being unwillingly copied, but many others, including those who didn't consent and who is no longer alive. The law and rules are not adjusted for that yet. AI is an incredible technology, and Alona is not arguing against them or wants them to be forbidden, but it needs to be fair for everyone. We'll see where this situation goes from now on. In the meantime, please be careful with your voices, whether you are a media person or not. We'll see where this situation goes from now, but until then, please be careful with your voices, whether you're a media person or not. Have a great time zone, everyone. Of course, I didn't think that my voice will be in open access, that I will be destroyed, my reputation, that anyone, without any censorship, will be able to use it, using swearing or in porn, anywhere. And what I want to point out is that I'm not arguing against neural networks and AI. I'm not asking to ban them. This is an incredible new instrument that opens up new possibilities, and I'm sure that we will be able to learn, coexist with it. We'll be able to use it to create new interesting stuff. But I'm calling and asking for not destroying each other, not devalue the achievements of each other, and so that the big companies wouldn't destroy their workers. And I know it's happening more than
Ни
with
с одной
one
крупной компанией,
big
которую я
company
сегодня приводила.
that I'm talking
К
about.
сожалению, это правда
Unfortunately, it's
достаточно массовая
happening
история.
en masse.
И
Yeah.